Hi everyone, and thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a review of the Tulip Etimo 5mm crochet hook. I've been waiting to try this for so long. I actually bought it during the latest Spotlight 50% off sale, so I only paid about $12 or $13 for it, which is fantastic. And it's been sitting in my collection for so long, and I keep looking at it and I keep saying one day. Well, today is the day, so I'm really looking forward to trying this hook and seeing if the hype is real. Okay, so let's open this bad boy up and see what it feels like. I am really looking forward to this. Okay. Come on, out you come. Oop. That wasn't very graceful at all. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So straight off the bat, I'm not appreciative of this sticker here. I feel like that might be a bit of an issue. It may not be. It may not. Some of my other hooks have adhesive on them, like they've had a sticker or they've had a label or something like that on them. And when they start to peel off, they get really annoying. So I'm hoping that's not the case with this. Oh, wow. So it's not as soft as I was expecting, but I'm really liking the design of the handle. You can see there's a little divot there. There's a little divot there, I'm guessing, for your thumb to be able to rest on. And then it sort of goes up a little bit there. So you've got like something to push against with your thumb, which is great for someone like me. I've got a knife grip, so I'm always holding my hooks on that angle there. So that's fantastic for me. I imagine pencil or pen grips would appreciate that as well. That would come in really handy. It'd be really comfortable sitting in your hand. The handle's not too long, so it's not protruding all the way down here and not being used and getting in the way. It just sits quite nicely in my hand. It's very light. There's not a lot of weight in this tulip at all. It's very light. And it's not like it's a very grippy handle. It's not like my fingers, if I hold on to that, it's not slipping at all. My fingers and my thumb aren't moving on the handle, so you're not going to have any issues with it sliding around in your fingers or in your hand. The shaft and the head, obviously this is a tapered hook. It's not an inline hook, so you can see there, hopefully you can see there that it's not a very deep groove in there. That looks like it's going to be a wonderful hook for picking up stitches. It doesn't look like it's going to get stuck in the stitch or pull on the thread, but I'll definitely have to give it a try to see how we go. So before I give this a try with some of the Bendigo Woolen Mills yarn I've got sitting here, let's just have a look at some of the old hooks that I used to use, just to give you an idea of a bit of a comparison. So I think most crocheters that grew up in Australia will remember these hooks. So these are all Aero hooks. Aero is a brand that we grew up with here in Australia and have had around for a very long time. These hooks belong to my grandmother and my mum, so they hold a very sentimental place in my heart, and I will always hang on to them no matter what. But Aeros are the brand that most crocheters who grew up in Australia probably learnt to use. So this is a 5mm here, very flat, very straight. They are tapered hooks. They're not inline hooks, so much easier for most people to use and a great hook to learn on. Great brand. They've been around for a very long time. You can find these in op shops now for about 50 cents or so, or a thrift store for about 50 cents or so. Great hooks, always great for a beginner to start on and to progress from there. So I will hang on to these and I'll treasure them always. From there I moved up to some ergonomic hooks. These are, I think, cozy grip hooks from Spotlight. I wanted to try the more ergonomic shape, And the grips on these are nice. Again, they don't slide around in your hands. Once you've got a good firm grip on them, they're not going anywhere. The handle's not too long. And although the shaft and the head isn't coated, it doesn't get stuck in your threads or in your stitches. It doesn't catch them like some do. The range or the size range goes from a 2mm to an 8mm. So it's a pretty good little kit. I think it's about $20 roughly at Spotlight. And you get, from your 2mm up to your 8mm, which is a great deal. So I started on the arrows, progressed across to these little guys. And then from there, I decided I needed to treat myself. So I went up to a clover, and I'll be honest, I haven't touched another hook since I bought this. So poor Tulip, I'm sorry, you've got big shoes to fill. But the Clover and More has been my favourite hook since the day I got it. And I honestly don't use any other hooks now that I have this. So this is an incredible hook. If you can afford it, wait for them to go on sale. You can get them on Amazon. Some stores in Australia stock it. I know the tulips are stocked at Spotlight, but not the clovers for some reason. I'm not sure what that's about. But you can find them at local yarn stores and online, obviously. So Amazon's a great place. Wait for the sales and pick up a set. I don't have a set, although it is my birthday soon, so I've been dropping hints all over the place. We'll see what happens. But ever since I got this is the only hook that I have been using, and I will swear by this. So it's going to take a lot for the tulip to knock the clover off the top spot, but you never know. We'll see how we go. Okay, so let's work up a swatch. The yarn I'm using today is the Bendigo Woolen Mills Luxury 8-ply in the colour Cerise. It is a stunning yarn to work with, absolutely beautiful. Always works up beautifully, really comfortable and really soft. So Bendigo Woolen Mills have been around for a very long time, and they are a fantastic Australian company. Love being able to support other Aussies. So highly recommend them. If you haven't used them before, definitely check them out because they are fantastic and the yarn has always been a great quality. Okay, so let's get started. Might just do just a bit of a quick swatch here just to see how it's working up. So already the grip's quite comfortable. I'm loving that little divot there for my thumb to rest on. It does seem to be sort of splitting the yarn a little bit, not too badly. It is quite smooth, so the yarn is gliding over the shaft there, which is quite nice and very helpful. Let's see. The stitches look pretty uniform, so that's always a good sign. Love to see that. Handle's not too big or too clumsy. It's very lightweight, this hook, which is great because it means you can work for hours and really not strain your hands or your wrists too much. Nothing worse than finding a great hook and it being too heavy. I have been told by a lot of people that use Prim ergonomic hooks that they're great for anybody with arthritis. I've found them a little difficult to work with just because my hands were so far away from what I was working on. So I found my hand down here, the working end of the hook was up here, and it was really quite a distance between my two hands. So I found it very uncomfortable to hold and to handle everything. That's just me though. I have friends of mine that swear by the Prims and can work with them all day, every day and never have an issue. So that's a good sign for the Prims. Just having a bit of an issue getting my hook through there. That's not too bad. Okay. So this is working up quite nicely, I should say. I'm not having any issues with it slipping around inside my hand. It's not catching the yarn. Everything seems to be working very smoothly. I'm loving that little divot. That's great. So the yarn's really sliding along that shaft there quite well. It's not getting caught. It's not gripping. It's not shedding or stripping the yarn at all, which is always a good sign. The handle's resting really comfortably in my hand. And as I said before, it's very lightweight, so you don't notice that you've got it in your hand. It feels thinner to the clover, I guess. Yeah, definitely a bit thinner. So you can see there that the clover is much wider on the grip here. But I feel like having the thumb divot on the back on the clover works better for the way I hold my hook. So I've got a knife grip. So having that on the back there just rests really comfortably, and I'm able to maneuver the hook a lot more easily. Whereas having the divot on the front here and nothing on the back, you've got to kind of adjust the way that you hold it when you've gone from working with a clover to working with the tulip. So just something to remember there. But this is much lighter. So the clover is quite light as well, but has a little bit more weight to it than the tulip does. You can see size-wise, they're pretty much standard. So there's not one longer or thicker or wider than the other. You can see from the size comparison that they're pretty much the same length, apart from the slight differences in the handle. They're not too different. It's all about that grip shape. So again, the clover has a flat surface on the top of it, and then the rounded bit across the back for you to rest your thumb and fingers on. So if you're working with a knife grip or even a pencil grip, that's basically where you would hold your hook, and you can just maneuver it from there. Whereas the tulip, that's got a flat back there, and it's got that little divot on the front there, so your thumb rests there, but there's not really much else for your fingers to grip onto other than just the handle itself. So that's the two differences there in the handle shapes. But I think once you chose either your preferred hook, or if you're working with both, if you're somebody that does work with both, do you have to modify your grip at all, or do you change the way you hold your hook or the way you work with it? I think I would have to do that. I suppose if the project you're working on is big enough, or you have to work with them for long enough, you would do that automatically anyway without even noticing. As you can see here, the stitches are working up quite nicely. They're very uniform. There's nothing that stands out about the hook. It's not splitting the yarn. It's not catching in any way. Very lightweight, very comfortable to use. All in all, a great all-rounder crochet hook. Final thoughts. What do I think of the Tulip Etimo 5mm crochet hook? This is a lovely hook. It's very smooth working with the yarn. The grip is very comfortable. It's very lightweight. I didn't have any issues with it catching the yarn or tearing any of the stitches. It didn't get stuck or cause any issues. Very comfortable to work with, very lightweight. So I feel like this is a hook you could work with all day and all night and still not have any issues with. Would I recommend it to others? Absolutely, absolutely. Is it going to be my favorite hook? I don't think it's going to beat out the Clover Amour personally. I think for me, the Clover Amour just purely and simply because of the design of the grip. I think it's always going to be in my number one top spot. but the Tulip Etimo is definitely a very close second. It's very, very comfortable. It's definitely more comfortable than my previous hooks that I got from Spotlight. Again, these were only $20 for a full set, so you can't really argue with the price. For cost effectiveness, the Spotlight grips are just fantastic. So, and again, no issues with it splitting yarn or anything like that. Occasionally it might get caught in some of the stitches, but I mean, it's a crochet hook. It's going to do that sometimes. And for $20 for a set, you kind of get what you pay for, but a great hook nonetheless. But for me, I think my champion will always be the Clover and More. It's just, again, purely and simply because of the grip. The grip just sits very comfortably in my hand, and I'm just so used to the Clover, I'm a little bit biased. But had I not tried the Clover, had I just picked up a Tulip and not had the experience of using a Clover, I would be so impressed. The grip is quite comfortable in your hand. Again, it's non-slip, so you're not going to slide up and down the handle and have issues trying to hold your hook. It is very lightweight, so you don't have any issues using it. Again, very comfortable. The coating on the shaft and the head there makes it a nice smooth hook to be working with. Fantastic. A really great little hook. Probably, as I said before, a very close second, very close runner-up to the Clover. Fantastic. Really like working with it. If it's within your budget to grab a Tulip, then definitely go for it. You won't regret it. It is a great little hook, and I would be happy to work with this all day, any day. Are you a Tulip fangirl? Is there something about the Tulip that I didn't cover today? If you have any questions or any concerns about this video, by all means, please leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope I convinced you that the Tulip is a great hook. Fantastic, lightweight, I'd work with it all day, any day. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate the view. Have a great day. Bye!